Hello, hello, and welcome to the Rock Metal Podcast. I'm your host, John Harris, and today on the Rock Metal Podcast, we have Plastic Tears, and they have a new album called Anthems For Misfits, which released earlier this year via Wormholedeath Records. Oh, look at that! Just like we practiced. And right now I'm being joined by Edu and Miqu to share some more information about this release and what the boys have got going on. So, gang, boys, welcome to the show.
Thank you. Nice to be here.
Oh.
Yeah.
Why, thank you, sir. I appreciate that. And we don't have to wonder, what Edu does because he's got basses behind him and Ampeg amp, so we know he's the bass player.
Yeah, you are damn right. Yeah, I'm Edu and I play bass, so.
Groovy. Now, that SVT, that little mini SVT behind you, is that on the album or is that just a practice amp?
Now that's only for practicing, at home. So it's staying here always.
Okay.
Never going out.
Awesome. Now, on the record, is it an SVT or do you not know what's on the record?
I don't know actually. Actually, it's going straight to the board, so I don't know what the mixing guy did. I don't know.
Okay. All right. I'm not surprised. Very common. Sweet. Okay, now going back to the album that you guys just threw up to the screen there. What is this record? Anthems for Misfits. I mean, that kind of says it right there. Anthems for Misfits. But I guess what is the record? Is there a theme?
Maybe there's a little theme of being an outsider and a misfit, but it's not like going through the whole album. Because we tried to make the album really diverse and bring in a lot of stuff. There's punk, there's a little bit of reggae, there's power pop, there's glam rock, hard rock, a little bit of everything. And lyrics maybe often tell a story about being a little bit like an underdog or something, but in the end, usually things turn out good, except on Candlelight Hater Fair when things don't go well in the end. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's a good rock and roll record, which we think is really diverse. There's a lot of different songs, but they still do fit our style, I think.
Mm-hmm. You mentioned a lot of different stuff. Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah, you cannot put that like in a box of something. You cannot say that it's glam rock, it's punk. It's like
you can put it in this box.
Yes, you can put it in a jewel case.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, but Edu's right. It's not an hard rock album, or it's not a punk rock album. It's not a glam rock album. It's a Plastic Tears album.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
that sounds painful.
Sorry.
Okay.
I mean, do you ever just stop and think to yourselves, like, man, what if we did cry plastic tears? Yeah.
Yeah. It's I wake up every night and think those thoughts. What if I cried plastic tears?
I know.
Yeah. I'm crying right now.
Exactly. And then you look at yourself and go, well, nobody likes a crybaby, so stop it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right.
Beautiful.
You got the story right there.
Mm-hmm. Okay, now, we chatted about a lot of different genres. Now, when I look at the cover, and I look at you boys, I immediately think glam rock, glam metal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, Miqu had a reaction. He had a reaction. He's like, eh.
Yeah, well, maybe there's a little bit of glam in our look, and there's a little bit of glam in our sound, but I'd never call us glam metal. That's not a scene that we're part of, I think, because the glam part is more, at least for me, maybe the other guys have a different opinion, but I'm more like to the Slade and old Alice Cooper and that kind of glam stuff, But so I wouldn't say like we're very much like a metal glam rock band.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't know that I would call it metal either. Just immediately, though, I'm like, oh, man, Guns N' Roses is on the call.
Yeah, well, Guns N' Roses is cool, and they're a good band. No problem with that, but I wouldn't call them glam metal either, so...
Yeah.
That's my opinion.
Not.
Actually, somebody at my work recently said, I don't consider Guns N' Roses to be like hair metal or glam metal or whatever. And then the conversation kind of went, okay, well then what are they? And it kind of came up that they're like a transition band between the hair metal and the grunge. So I don't know what you would call that, but...
Yeah, and anyway, why do you have to put, for example, Guns N' Roses into the box? It's like really good music, and it doesn't matter if it's glam or if it's hair or whatever.
Yeah, actually, it doesn't really matter. As long as people like or maybe don't like your music, it's the music is what it is, and they can call it what they want to.
Yeah. Now, speaking of what we want to call it, you guys signed to Wormhole Death in order to release this record. So take us through that experience.
Well, after the last album that we did with a small company, we just were, fishing for a new contract to get a little bit, someone who maybe has a little bit more promotional abilities or powers. So after going through a few offers, we settled for Wormhole Death because they seemed like really straight up guys, and they do their stuff, but they still let us, be independent and do promotion and sell records and stuff on our own. That is quite important to us because we've been like a do-it-ourselves band for a long time, even though we had help on different labels. But so, and Wormhole, that seemed like a good option to us, and so far so good.
Mm-hmm. So you guys,
we can do one too.
So you guys had the album already recorded. You were ready to do a DIY and then shop for a label, or did Wormhole Death help at all with recording, mixing, mastering?
No, we recorded ourselves because and when we had some raw demos, that's what we sent out to the labels, and so see if anyone's interested, and there were a few, but we chose to go with those. But yeah, the recording process, it was pretty much ourselves doing it because nobody telling us how or what to do, and that's the way we want it to be.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay. I guess my next question then is, on this album, Anthems For Misfits, was there something you guys were looking to go for then in terms of producing yourselves? A sound or a vibe, a theme?
Yeah, well, maybe Edu could talk about this, but yeah, we wanted it to be more stable and maybe a little bit more not so over compressed, take it easier on that, and of course, Sammy, the guy who we recorded it with, he had a big part in the production too. It was not just the five of us or some of us, because Sammy helped us out a lot. He had really much good ideas that we used in the end. So yeah,
we could choose sounds and that kind of things, and he was helping. What about this, if this is okay, or it was like we were doing everything on our own and trying everything, and he was only helping with the sounds and that kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm. Okay. And there's a couple of tracks that you guys wanted to chat about, and then there's also a couple of tracks that have videos as well. So I guess you guys are just tired of chatting about Look of Lies and Riot Zone. You're like, no more. I don't want to hear it ever again.
No problem. We can talk about those too. But, of course, we had our share about those already. So if you want to talk about something else, that's okay. If you want to talk about the video tracks, that's okay too.
Yeah. Whatever.
Very easygoing, guys.
Beautiful. Since they have videos, I'm going to link to them in the show notes, because we have a large base that watches on YouTube, and then that way they can quickly click on the link and see the music videos. And I think it should show up in even Spotify as well. So if somebody's listening on Spotify, they should be able to go into the show notes and click a link and see the music videos.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, Look of Lies and Riot Zone. Why these two tracks?
I think Look of Lies was the first song, that we had ready when we went to the studio. Like the arrangements and everything was in place when we went to the studio, because a lot of the tracks were like kind of raw when we went to the studio, and we needed to practice them a few times at our rehearsal rooms and maybe check them out at the studio too. But Look of Flies was ready, and it was a good song, and we wanted it out fast because we were going on a tour to Germany and Netherlands and stuff like that. So we wanted to release a single and a video before that. So that was like a choice, a good choice, but a choice we got made, quick enough. You want more?
I was just making a note, and then it sounded like the audio dropped off, so I quickly looked to see if you were still talking and there was no audio, or if you actually stopped talking. So sometimes... See? It's happening. Skype is doing it again.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
My buttons. Is it okay? Yeah.
Yeah. No, it's all good, baby. Now, you mentioned a tour. Was this before the pandemic then, or did okay.
Yeah, it was 2019, I think. 2019. Yeah.
At the end of 2019, maybe October or something. So we just got to do that tour, and when we got back there was like a couple or a few months before things started to go the way they are now. So I guess those were like the last gigs. I guess we did a couple in Finland, after that, but kind of lucky that we had time to do that before this shit show started.
Mm-hmm. That's right. Next album's going to be called Shit Show.
Maybe.
Yeah. How do you say shit show in Finnish?
I don't know. Do you know? Paska-ohjelma.
All right, groovy. Now, Riot Zone, I'm speculating then that this track was written before 2020, but after 2020 happened, it just seems so fitting to have a song called Riot Zone.
Yeah, it was kind of accidental. When we wrote that song, the world was much more innocent, and it was like kind of just a rock and roll rebellion and a fight song, so not so serious. But the situation the world has gone to made it kind of more serious. So, and I don't know if it's good or bad, because it was meant to be a rock and roll song with maybe a little bit of a, stand up for your rights thing and be yourself. But then if you want to read it seriously nowadays, you can, with all the riots happening in the States and stuff. And it was kind of funny, because just a couple of days after we made the video, the label made the video, and it was kind of the riot images there, and just a couple of days after that the Capitol Hill riots started. So the timing was quite good in a way, but it was not intentional.
Yeah. How did you guys react to that situation over in Finland when you saw that happening?
Yeah, well, it was quite, maybe not scary, but really surprised, and how can things like that happen in a so-called civilized country? It was kind of radical. So it was a couple of quite worrying weeks, going on when the situation was quite unstable for the whole end of the last year and quite much of the beginning too, before the president changed and stuff like that. It was quite restless there. So of course it was much on the news here too, and it made us think, it's like, how is this gonna end?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, I'm their neighbor. It was not fun.
Yeah, I know.
Cool. These other two tracks, Nobody Likes to Cry Baby, which is written about a wah pedal, right? And
yeah, of course.
And Candlelight Hate Affair, which I dig. Not only as a song, but I like the play on words, right? Candlelight Love Affair is what we would be expecting, but instead it's a Candlelight Hate Affair.
Yeah.
And it's a level of cheekiness that I expect from certain bands. I think it's cool. What is this about? These two tracks? Nobody Likes a Crybaby. What's that about? And Candlelight Hate Affair. What's that about?
He's the mom or dad of almost all songs, so he can tell about that.
Okay.
Yeah, well, Nobody Likes a Crybaby is like the song itself. The music is quite straightforward, rock and roll. Maybe a little bit of like Elvis meets the Clash or something with a bit of a punk vibe. And the lyrics, well, they're just kind of at least hopefully fun story about somebody's little sister telling rumors about her and how their mom reacts, and actually she reacts pretty good. But as we all know, you don't like a telltale or a crybaby. I guess everyone has had those feelings in their life.
Yeah.
And then Candlelight Hate Affair, it's a little bit more darker and moodier, and it's I don't usually like going too much into the lyrics because that way people don't get my ready-made opinion of what they are about, or they can make up their own mind what the story is telling about. But there's a guy who's fighting with his own demons, and maybe sometimes his good and bad side, and he might be dying or he might be staying alive. You have to make up your mind. Sorry, I can't give up everything about the song. You have to listen to it yourself. But it's a moody, almost gothic song, and I like the mood of it. And it was fun to sing to because there's those whispering parts in the low whispering parts in the beginning, and it's actually my favorite song of the album.
Okay. It Kupeli.
What?
Sorry?
It Kupeli.
What's
Okay.
that?
The internet says that Crybaby in Finnish is It Kupeli.
Itkupilli. Yeah, Itkupilli.
Kupeli. Sorry, my emphasis was on the wrong.
Good. You learn fast.
Yeah,
Kiitos.
Ole hyvä.
ole hyvä.
Yeah.
Haastan pelkästään suomeksi tästä lähtien.
And then there's another word here that the internet says, I don't even want to try to say it. Pilitaja.
Pillittäjä.
Pitäjä.
Okay.
You're doing great.
Thank you. Kiitos.
Next time we do an interview, we do it in Finnish.
Yeah.
Exactly. That's exactly what's going to happen. Sweet. So we chatted about, in the beginning, we actually chatted quite a bit about genres that show up on the record. I guess a question I didn't ask directly was that a conscious decision? Like, did you guys say, man, we really need a punk vibe there? Or did it just kind of happen that way?
I think I didn't hear the beginning of the question now, but I'm going to answer to what I heard then. Or did you hear him out, Edu?
I think I heard. It was about the Crybaby, I think.
Okay.
You were.
Yeah, because we chatted about different genres that show up on the album, and a question that I did not ask, that I'm thinking of now, is, was it a conscious decision to do different genres on the album? Like, did you guys get to a song and you're like, man, we need a part here, and somebody said, well, let's do a punk vibe there?
Oh, no.
Okay.
I think when he's having those songs in his head, it's like it's coming whatever it is. It's not like meant to. I don't know, because I'm not doing songs or writing songs. So I think he's coming to the rehearsals place and he grabs a guitar and he's playing what he has in his head, and then we start to do. And if the song is okay or if it sounds good, then we continue doing it. So I don't know if you are doing it in purpose something like or punk or jazz or I don't know.
No, I don't think this band is like a calculated business. We do what comes from our heart, and if it's punk, that's okay. If it's something else, it's okay, as long as we get it to fit into our own style. And what is really good with this band is that if I make a song and I bring it to the guys, they put in their own sound there, and that kind of makes the sound of the band. It's not just the song or the composition or one guy; it's the whole crew.
Yeah.
Okay. Groovy.
Not sure if I answered the right question now, but at least there was an answer.
Mm-hmm. All I need, boys, are answers.
You're gonna get them, but what about that? That we can't promise.
Yeah.
We can say whatever.
Yeah. I don't know that I ever asked the right question or ever received the right answer, but questions are being said and answers are being had, and people enjoy.
Yeah.
So, groovy. Okay. Well, boys, that concludes my questions. We chatted about different genres on the record. We chatted about the record Anthems for Misfits. We chatted about Nobody Likes a Crybaby. We chatted about Candlelight Hate Affair. We chatted about Look of Lies. We chatted about Riot Zone. We chatted about signing to Wormhole Death, which you said was an upgrade, and glad you guys are having a good time with them. We also loosely kind of chatted about touring in Europe before the whole pandemic started, or at least in Germany and the Netherlands. And we chatted about actually having plastic tears. We chatted about that Ampeg SVT in the background over there. Yep.
Fender basses.
Fender P bass.
Yeah, and jazz bass.
Okay, that's a classic sound right there. What kind of strings, baby? What kind of strings you got?
Fender strings.
Okay. Interesting. Groovy.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I hear a lot of I hear a lot of respect for D'Addario Pro Steels on bass.
Yeah. I've tried like almost all of those, but Fender is the best for me.
Okay. Yeah. Makes sense. Okay. We chatted about
If we don't this, love for basses, I also got a bass. Next time I'm gonna put it on the wall down there, over there, so it's kind of attention.
Yeah.
I got the bass from him though, so.
Yeah, I know. And then you won't feel left out. It'll be great. What kind of strings do you use, baby?
I'm a crybaby now.
Oh, no. Nobody likes a crybaby, Miqu.
Oh, I know, but I can't help it.
Yeah. We dig your sheets, the leopard sheets on the bed. Fantastic move.
All right. Yeah, I just, we have two cats. I'm sorry they're not, in the background now because they fit in really good with the sheets.
Mm-hmm. They're there. We just can't see them because they're camouflaged.
That's right.
Beautiful, baby. How do you say camouflage in Finnish? How do you even spell camouflage? Naamiointi.
That's like disguised, but camouflage is maastoutua. What's the right muoto? What's the right but if maastoutua, that's a good one. It's quite close.
Okay. There it is. Right here on the Rock Metal Podcast, we learned how to say camouflage in Finnish. So, gang, that concludes my questions. Thank you so much for coming on to the Rock Metal Podcast today.
Thank you.
Thank you for having us. It was fun. Thank you.
Yeah.